Hi, my name is Brooklyn Tanner. Today I'm going to talk about the effects of abortion on women and how it affects them. So I'm just going to read my introduction and conclusion, so here I go. Almost every day lately you see something in the news or the television about women and their abortion rights, or whether it should be legalized or shouldn't be legalized, how old a patient has to be to get an abortion, how far along, and so forth. I had never really thought about it until it affected me personally. My then 16-year-old sister Caitlin decided that her pregnancy was not what she wanted. Although this pregnancy was unwanted by her and her boyfriend, she had never really looked into the other factors that she could go with. Her then 20-year-old boyfriend had posed as her stepbrother in another state, and she was able to get the procedure done without my parents or me knowing until after the fact. Somehow my parents had found out, and my family kind of went in crisis mode. Everyone started fighting more. People didn't want to get along. Caitlin wasn't as happy as she could be. She used to be this really funny cheerleader girl, and now she didn't want anything to do with our family. Although it really hurt my family, my sister has suffered several side effects from this. After her abortion, she really struggled with depression and anxiety. Not only about having a baby, but really with anything. She started failing out of school. She couldn't keep her grades up. She really had no motivation to go to school anymore, or any motivation to do anything in that case. Another big thing is her self-consciousness went down. After the fact that she got the abortion, that boyfriend and her actually broke up. And I think that she regrets this decision, but she has never really said that. She could have talked to me and my family, and we would have been able to help her and give her more options. I really wish she would have just helped or asked us. I really think that if she would have thought about the decision and actions before she went through with the abortion, things would have been differently, and she wouldn't have all these problems in her life now. I will first talk about how abortion is a serious procedure, and all other options should be evaluated before you decide to get an abortion. Many argue that easy access to abortions cause the numbers to go up, but just because it's easily accessed doesn't mean that you're going to walk out of it with no problems. There have been several studies showing that women have psychological and emotional problems after they come out of that abortion. So although you're only thinking about the physical side effects, you've got to think about the emotional and psychological, because that's really the big factor here. Finally, I'd like to talk about women who are considering abortion need to be aware of the lifelong problems that will come. They need to be aware of what other options they have. I think that education is really important in this case so that people can know of the options that they have, not only just to get an abortion, but there's adoption, there's several other things before we have to lead to adoption or to abortion. And that's my conclusion or my introduction. My conclusion would start off like this. Women who are experiencing difficulties after an abortion, they have resources available to them. The most important thing is to recognize the symptoms and get immediate help before you do choose that abortion. There are several studies that have shown that women who have met with their gynecologist or their OBGYN essentially decided not to do that abortion. If you're meeting with the doctor regularly, things should be okay, and things are going to be okay if you decide to keep the baby, or people just need to weigh all their options. That's why I think education is a key in this. Education about abortion is so crucial, because I just feel like women get scared because they're pregnant, and they need to truly think of all the other options before they think about abortion. Also, let's go past, if you do get an abortion, I think it's really important to educate yourself also about being able to recognize the symptoms, being able to recognize that you're not as happy anymore. And there are several places too that can help you after the abortion if you're having problems, not only mental problems, but also if you're having physical problems, if you're not feeling happy. There are several resources. The great thing about the church is that it has several options for counseling and for you to turn to when life gets hard and you don't feel like you can go any longer. I looked at several studies, and resources show that women who have an abortion all experience negative side effects immediately after, or sometimes these can begin several years after the process. So I would like to go on about that and talk about how, maybe you walk out of that clinic feeling relieved and you are so happy that you made that decision, but you've got to think about lifelong. If you're going to be able to have more kids, when you do decide to have more kids, I mean, that really needs to be thought about. I have several studies that I found that were able to prove that women who had an abortion had several side effects, and I will include that in my speech. Like I said, I'm just writing the conclusion right now. Although physical side effects have been reported to be commonly associated with abortion, mental side effects, again, are seriously the number one. It's really important to get resources. Some resources that I found available: regular appointments with your OBGYN. If you need to talk to them, great, go and talk to them. They're there to talk to you. Reach out to others. Your family's always going to be there for you. Family, friends, your bishop, anyone that you would like to take counsel from, they can always talk to you if you're having difficulties with these. One big key factor is don't be afraid to ask. If you are feeling like this, don't be afraid to ask for help. I really feel like if Caitlin would have asked me or my mom or my dad for help when she was feeling like this, it wouldn't have gone to the point that it was. And that's one thing that I really wish that I could have implicated more and always asked her what she needed, because I really feel like it would have helped. Another key factor is always weigh out your other options before you choose abortion. There are so many families here in the U.S. That want kids, that need kids, that don't necessarily have the chance here for several medical reasons or other problems, that they don't have the opportunity to have kids here. So I think it's really important that we weigh all other options before we choose abortion. So although abortion seems like a quick fix to potential problems, it's not a simple procedure and has several side effects after the fact. It's important to realize these lasting effects that will come from an abortion and not take the decision to end your pregnant lightly. As the abortion rates go up in Utah, the amount of awareness about the complications that come with it, or the even awareness of abortion and what it really is going down. It's really sad. I think education here is key. We need to talk to these women. We need to get out there that there are resources about abortion. It's time that we take a stand and to educate as many women as we can about abortion and the effects that it has. It's our chance to teach women about that.